Hey guys, welcome to Tactical Tuesday. This week for Tactical Tuesday, we're going to talk about the new LMT ION 30 suppressor. It's a brand new suppressor released by LMT, and this suppressor is something that a lot of people have been asking us about. Because of its release and because it's fairly new, there's not a ton of information about it outside of just kind of the manufacturer's stat sheets. Not a ton of people have been able to get their hands on one and really put some rounds through it and kind of give their opinion on it. And I'm happy to say that I was able to get that chance to do so today. I got back from the range not too long ago, as can be seen by my sunburnt ginger complexion here, but it was great. I was able to spend a few hours out on the range running a bunch of different calibers through this suppressor to kind of get a feel for what it's like in the real world. And I gotta say, I'm overall very pleased with the sound and performance of this suppressor. Let's dive into it and kind of talk about what makes this suppressor special and how it compares to some of the other suppressors that are available on the market. So the ION 30 is LMT Advanced Technologies' very own in-house designed suppressor. And what makes it special amongst other suppressors that are available on the market is it has its own patented free flow technology, which what that means is just that it is a reduced back pressure suppressor, meaning it has some vents on the front that allow the gases to flow out the front of the suppressor once it has kind of hit that critical mass as far as pressures built inside the can. And what that does for the shooter is it reduces the amount of back pressure that comes through the firearm and ultimately ends up spraying into the shooter's face. There's a couple different models of suppressors available to the market that are kind of going to a free flow technology or kind of style of suppressor, and it's become very popular because it does make the shooting experience much more enjoyable. The other benefit that having a free flow technology like the LMT is that it puts less mechanical wear and tear on your firearm. You don't have to worry about making mechanical adjustments to your gun in order to use this suppressor optimally. You're good to go ahead and just thread it onto the front end of the gun and run it. You don't need to worry about putting on adjustable gas blocks or other things like that. So it's a huge advantage that way, and it can ultimately end up saving the consumer quite a bit of money because they're not needing to swap out all these different parts on their guns. Now the ION suppressor is rated from 17 HMR up to 300 Win Mag. It is full auto rated, and the one that I have in front of me here is a combination of both Inconel baffles as well as 17.4 stainless steel, which means it's an incredibly durable can. That being said, this particular model is a little bit on the heavy side, coming in at 19.3 ounces. It's a bigger can. While they do have other models that are made completely out of titanium, as well as a 5.56K variant, which both weigh considerably less, the all Inconel and stainless steel model is a little bit on the chunky side. But it sounded great. I really liked it on the 6.5 Creedmoor bolt action. We went ahead and threw it on the Aero Precision bolt gun that we've got, and it sounded very pleasant, especially at the shooter's ear. Super comfortable. I wasn't wearing any hearing protection at all, and because it really wasn't needed. There were some times where I kind of questioned if I should put hearing protection on, especially when I was running on like my 5.56, 11.5 SBR. But on the bolt gun and on the 7.62 by 39 AK, it sounded sweet. The ION 30 suppressor weighs in at 19.3 ounces and has a removable and replaceable end cap. The great part about that replaceable end cap is it does allow you to adjust the suppressor dependent on the caliber you're running. So if you're primarily going to run this on like an AR-15 that shoots 5.56, you can get a 5.56 specific end cap, which is going to help greatly reduce the flash as well as help with the overall sound signature for that particular caliber. However, if you want to keep it as is out of the box, it's going to allow you to run it on a whole variant of different types of firearms, anything that falls within that 17 HMR and up to a 300 Win Mag. And in the box, when you get the ION 30 suppressor, you will find not only the suppressor itself, but a regulator SP muzzle device threaded in 5/8 by 24, a 7.62 restrictor end cap, as well as the ION tool, which allows the end user to make adjustments to the suppressor and change out that end cap dependent on the caliber that they are choosing to fire that day. And one of the things that I really appreciated about the ION 30 suppressor was its ability to greatly reduce the amount of gas blowback that I've noticed while shooting the firearms. Unlike the traditional suppressors that I own that don't really do anything to reduce gas blowback, this one did a very good job of mitigating those gases and helping to direct the gases forward and away from the shooter. And as can be seen in the footage, if you look closely, you can really see those gases ejecting out of the front of the suppressor and away from the shooter's face. And that's especially noticeable and appreciated on the platforms like the AK-47 and the AR-15, which are kind of notoriously known for being difficult to suppress. So the fact that the suppressor is self-regulating and able to redirect those gases away from the shooter was a greatly appreciated feature and something that I felt like they did a very good job at doing. As you can see, it's nice and shiny brass. See how, if it's doing a good job preventing some of that blowback. So clean brass comes out dirty, we'll know there's definitely some blowback. Nice and clean. So pretty little amount of gas blowback, so that's pretty impressive. Still nice and clean, looking good. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to shoot this at night. So how well its flash reduction is in comparison to other suppressors on the market is still something that we need to test. But for daytime shooting, it did perform very well, and something that I think, if you're in the market for a new suppressor, something that you ought to consider. And according to LMT, when they conducted the tests to see what the sound rating would be for the suppressor, they found that when they used a 14.5-inch AR-15 using M855 ammunition, they were able to achieve sub 139.9 decibel ratings at the shooter's ear, which is very impressive ratings. And while I don't have decibel readers to test that data and make sure that it is 100% accurate, I can say that from my perspective, when I was actually firing the firearms today on those various platforms, it was very comfortable and not at all unpleasant to shoot without any kind of hearing protection. So guys, if you're looking for a good quality suppressor, something that's going to complement your LMT rifles, I would highly recommend that you check out the new LMT ION series of suppressors. They do a great job of reducing that gas blowback regardless of the platform of weapon system that you're choosing to run. And I really think that it's something that is going to be a strong competitor in the market, especially when competing against other free flow style suppressors. So guys, come by the shop, check it out. We'd be happy to show it to you. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. You can message us through Instagram, call us, stop by the shop. Any way you want to reach out, we'd be happy to help you out. And guys, until next week, continue to train hard, train smart, and God bless you.